for containing more information and producing an image with greater definition than its predecessor. At the time, the other movie format on the block that was accessible to the general public was 16mm, which, by virtue of its 16mm wide celluloid palette, contained more than 3 times the information of either of the 8mm formats. You can also talk about how Super 8 fits into the continuum of film history. Both 16mm and regular 8mm had been around for decades prior to Super 8's release. The 16mm format was born in 1923, regular 8 followed in 1932. Throughout the years, 16mm was used for a variety of purposes. Until the release of regular 8 in the 1930s, 16mm was the principal home movie format of choice in the U.S. In the 1940s, it was used by combat cameramen in World War II. In the 1950s, it found widespread use in the educational, television news, and industrial film markets. In the 1960s, it became the favored gauge of documentary, experimental, and independent filmmakers, from Cassavetes to Godard to Pennebaker to Brakhage. Shooting in 16mm offered a beautiful image at a fraction of the cost of 35mm film. Meanwhile, regular 8 solidified itself as the stalwart of the home movie world. While the image quality of regular 8 didn't pop as much as 16mm, it was a substantially cheaper format. The 8mm cameras, projectors, editing gear, and film stock were a fraction of the cost of 16mm equipment and accessories. This affordability made it the format of choice for dads wanting to document family birthdays, vacations, and graduations. Upon its arrival, Super 8 quickly dominated the home movie market, supplanting regular 8 for market share. Not only did it have a superior image compared to regular 8, but it was much simpler to operate. Regular 8 was a tricky beast. It came in 25-foot rolls that were 16mm wide that you needed to manually thread into your camera. Because the camera's film gate was only 8mm wide, when you shot, you only exposed 8mm, or half of the film strip. You shot for 25 feet, roughly 1 minute and 50 seconds, at which point you needed to pull the film out of the camera, flip it over, rethread it, and then shoot the 25-foot roll a second time, this time exposing the other 8mm of film. You would ship the finished reel to a lab for processing, where they split the film lengthwise and spliced the two 25-foot sections together, giving you a 50-foot film reel, approximately 3 minutes and 40 seconds in length, and 8mm wide. Super 8 was significantly less cumbersome. The film came in a 50-foot, light-tight cartridge that simply popped into the camera's film chamber. It took a mere matter of seconds to insert the cartridge, and presto, you were ready to shoot. That process was no more difficult than popping videotape into a camcorder. No muss, no fuss. Additionally, there was no significant price difference between Super 8 and regular 8. Super 8 had a better image and was easier to use. It was an easy choice to make for home movie enthusiasts. Kodak and Bell and Howell were the first manufacturers to jump into the Super 8 pool, and even they were surprised at how well the new format caught on and how quickly it displaced standard 8mm in the home market. As a result of the new gauge's success, Kodak discontinued all but one standard 8mm model by the end of 1966. Interestingly, though Super 8 took the home movie world by storm, the new format was born out of Kodak's desire to find a better format for educational, industrial, and commercial purposes. Kodak believed a better quality format would make inroads into these markets, which didn't traditionally work in 8mm, instead producing and distributing mostly on 16mm. Generating 16mm prints was expensive, so companies would sometimes create 8mm reduction prints to save money. The 8mm prints, however, were not always embraced due to the limited information carried by such a small image. Super 8's increased image area was designed with an eye on improving the overall quality of the reduction prints for the boardroom and the classroom. Super 8 also promised additional savings by lowering the cost of reduction prints. Its dimensions made it possible to make 4 Super 8 prints at one time.